Welcome back. Now, she says it was the support of well-wishers around the world which sustained her through her long years of detention and house arrest in Burma. Back in Britain for the first time in 24 years, Aung San Suu Kyi has been visiting the city of Oxford, where she lived in the early 1980s with her late husband and their 2 sons. Our Foreign Affairs correspondent Jonathan Miller went to meet her.
The daughter of Burmese democracy promised the people of Burma freedom from fear. The military junta that's now run Burma for half a century feared her, though, and kept her locked away under house arrest for 15 long years. Her father negotiated independence from Britain before being gunned down by a rival when she was just 2. She studied in Oxford and married an academic, Michael Arras. They had 2 boys, but after a popular revolt in her homeland was brutally crushed 25 years ago, destiny called, and she left them all behind. She stood for election, won by a landslide, but was denied power and locked up. Then, 18 months ago, something changed. Aung San Suu Kyi was released. Western politicians, sensing a new era dawning, clamoured to meet her. Earlier this year, she stood for Parliament and is now an MP again. Now, Aung San Suu Kyi is on her first major tour outside Burma, and today, on her 67th birthday, she's back home in Oxford, where this evening she attended a birthday party with old friends and family. Earlier, I met her in her former college.
Dosu, happy birthday, first of all.
Thank you.
And of all the days and in all the places to talk to you, here in Oxford, the city you left behind, the city where you left your family behind, to spend all that time in Rangoon, 15 years in detention. I've got to ask you this question, today of all days, was it ultimately worth the sacrifice?
Well, first of all, I don't think it was a sacrifice, and yes, it's worth it. Whatever you called it, not a sacrifice, but a choice. I made this choice, and I stand by it.
You made the choice, but it was something which you didn't really have a choice about, because you considered it your destiny to do what you did. As the daughter of General Aung San?
Oh, no, I had a choice. I believe that people do have choices. I believe in free will.
Back in Burma, you're treated as a celebrity, as always, but here in Europe now, you're being feted like a rock star, and you're being treated like a president. Some even talk about you as though you're a living saint. Now,
that's terrible.
Well,
I'm no saint.
I was going to say, how does that go down? But I'd be interested to know, do you not feel that you're endangering putting the president, upstaging the president of Burma in all of this?
I don't think the president should feel that the attention given to me is in any way a personal insult to him. It's nothing to do with that. It's to do with the cause that I have been advocating all these years. So it's a support for the values that I advocated. And if he is going to be working for the same values, then I think he can share in the glory.
You have always sought to at least talk. But what has happened in Burma has come about as a result of their reaching out to you more than you reaching out to them, has it not?
No, because I'd always been reaching out to them. It was the only difference between then and now is that they've decided to take the hand that I held out to them.
And you have warned as well about this change being quite a fragile thing. I mean, there's no certainty that this Burmese spring, as it's been dubbed, will last.
Yes, it's fragile because this reform process is so new and we don't know how much support it has within the government, apart from the president, and within what is even more important, the army. Until we know that the army is committed to this process, we can't be certain that it will not be reversed at any time. It seems undesirable to the army.
You talk about political settlements. With all your years of experience and meditating on these points, how would you approach the seemingly intractable problems in the Middle East right now?
I'm not from the Middle East, so I can't say precisely what the problems there are, but I think they will have to learn to talk to one another and not through the barrel of a gun.
And what's it like being back here today? Must be a fairly overwhelming experience of freedom.
Very lovely. Oxford is looking its best. It's at its best, all the flowers and the sunshine. and I feel a little bit younger again.
A youthful Aung San Suu Kyi talking to Jonathan Miller earlier. And we're just getting some breaking news that the WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has entered the Ecuadorian embassy in London seeking political asylum under the United Nations Human Rights Declaration. Mr. Assange is facing extradition to Sweden to face sex assault charges after losing his legal challenge to the order. You can chat to us both on Twitter, and of course Channel 4 News continues online, channel4.com/news.
But we shall be back tomorrow at 7. Until then, from Kathy and from me, that's Channel 4 News. Good evening.